Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Okay, so yeah, so few things, right? So when it comes to digital marketing, so there the basic things are, right. So having for anyone to get into digital marketing, one couple of things are the basic SEO, social media marketing, and ad campaigns, right? So when it comes to SEO, first and foremost, I mean, these are simple basics. I think I'm sure most of you guys also must be knowing. So having a domain, right? Domain, website, and social media presence. So here, domain why I have specifically mentioned is, right. Domain works in two ways. I think someone has come. Okay, right. So domain will become your brand name itself, right? And also, if you have domain extensions like .com, .in, .org, .edu, .biz, so multiple domains are there, and a lot domains have their own value. The most prominent being the .com domain. But if your target audience is only India, for example, right? So it makes sense to book a .in domain, because Google, I mean, in location specific searches, right? You will start ranking, right? So yeah, most preferred is of course .com. So similarly, .edu if you are a education. Vertical, I mean, education, if you are from the education industry, or .biz, .org, .net. So it depends. And of course, it becomes your brand identity as well. So usually domain name should not be big. It should be smaller. You should not have, like, for example, if your company's name or if your enterprise name is XYZ Business Solutions, so it should not be XYZ Business Solutions.com. It should just be XYZ Biz.com or whatever. So domain is definitely an important aspect of of digital marketing as a whole, right? And there are various methods also, like if you are you can buy multiple domains and redirect to your website, right? So if you are into, say for example, training services, right? So but your company's name is XYZ Training, so even though your domain is xyztraining.com, you can buy multiple domains like .nettraining.com, .nettraining.in, or softwaretraining.com, which may not be available, but yeah, whichever is available, you can book those domains and direct them to your main site. So that adds again to your SEO. I'm just saying basic stuff. So then, I mean, domain, and then comes your website. So website is very important. You should have a user-friendly website, and it should be optimized. I'll be coming in the next slide on-page optimization and off-page optimization. So the flow should be such that any information on your website should not be more than two, maximum three clicks away. If anyone has to go to some particular section, they should be able to go in 2 to 3 clicks max. That's it. If anything more than that, then it is not optimized. And then of course your social media presence. So create social media also. You should be careful that you should not create all kinds of social media, right? So if you are a business B2B, then you should not have all. I mean, Facebook is irrelevant to you, right? So if you're talking to only CEOs or someone, so then they won't be on Facebook, right? So they say social media also is important, wherein you have to find out what kind of social media your any client's business will require. So if it is a media client, then they will require all social media, right? If it is a gaming client, they will also require all social media, but they may not require LinkedIn. So if someone is selling video games, unless because it is pure B2C, people will download the app and play, so they don't need necessarily be on LinkedIn, if not just to hire employees and stuff. So it varies, right? So if you don't have any videos happening, then you don't there is no need for you to have a YouTube channel, correct? So like if you are a programming company, software development company, I mean, why do you require a YouTube unless you are providing training information? Okay, so it varies. It's very important to decide what kind of social media you require. Okay, so I will jump on to search engine optimization. So I'm just giving you very high level, very uh, most important SEO aspects, right? So SEO is split into two. I mean, most of you guys will be aware of it: on-page optimization and off-page optimization, right? On-page is basically optimizing your website by itself. right? So having the pages in place, having the right content in place, there should not be any crawl errors, like there should not be any dead links. The textual content should be right. You should be using the right keywords, right? So, and yeah, so these few things, right? So Google Analytics is something you have from the Google itself. You can set up a Google Analytics setup and Webmaster setup, because you have nice tools, and basically it is to track your website traffic, right? So what kind of traffic you are coming getting, like what pages are being visited on a regular basis and everything, right? So once you set up, first step, I mean, any one of you, like any new client or any new company who wants to do SEO, basic step is get the and a Google Analytics Webmaster setup, do the keyword research and meta tags. So, anyways, I will delve deep into it once I talk about SEO. So, keyword research is basically like depending on the business. So, what kind of keywords should they rank in, right? So, you should list out like what kind of keywords that they will be looking to rank. Some clients or some companies will say, okay, I want 50 keywords. It's not possible. You can, what you have to do is tell them direct upfront 50 keywords is not possible unless they have lots and lots of money to put on SEO, right? So you have to go for specific keywords, niche keywords, right? So I'm just taking, I don't know, say a fintech company, for example, fintech product for just for our example, right? So if they go for fintech as a keyword, they won't be able to rank because there are several companies already in existence who are already ranking, who have been there for several years prior to this business, right? So it should be very specific to like, okay, fintech for what? I mean, what kind of fintech are they going to target? Or fintech India versus general fintech, right? So you have to identify the keywords. So keyword research is something you can, you from the same Google Webmaster and Google AdWords setup, right? They have a keyword tool. So there itself you can get the keywords. I mean, Google will give you the keywords, which keywords are ranking more, how many searches are coming up, and everything, right? And then comes your meta tags. I mean, you should, every page has to have a title and a description. Anyways, I will show it to you once we get into the SEO part of it specifically. And crawl error recommendations is basically if there are any issues on the website, right? So if some page linkings are correct, if there are any, it's a little technical. I mean, maybe you might have to take help of a HTML guy, or if the client has some little programmers or someone who can do the website, right? So those kind of small fixes they can do. Setting up a sitemap and robotext implementation. Sitemap is basically the complete site in a XML format, right? So like a flowchart basically. So you have the website, right? So you have the complete site put up, created, and upload it. And robotext is not necessary for all the clients. Basically, it's not important, not mandatory as such. Basically, what this does is, if any website, if any client says, this particular page in my website, I don't want Google to index. So those pages can be put up in a robotext file and put uploaded on the site. Say, for example, it might be some costing information or their portfolio or something, which will be on their website, but we are saying Google not to index it. So that is what a robotext file does. That is the on-page thing, and then comes your off-page thing. I put the basic stuff. Other than this commenting, press release directory, you have various other things like guest posting and backlinking and various stuff. But these are something primary which will kind of drive quality traffic and backlinks for the website. So commenting is basically you comment on various articles on the web, basically, right? Say for example, again fintech, if I take example, right? So if a company is into fintech products or services, so commenting should be like if there is any article, a specific article on fintech on the internet, so that you can just do a Google search, and then when you, if you find some article with a comment option, you leave a comment with a backlink to the website or via the social media handle. So most of the comments are they won't allow you to leave a website URL. So that way, what you do is you log in through your Twitter handle or your Facebook handle or your Google handle and leave a comment. So that basically indirectly drives you to your social media and then to your website, right? So commenting should be a regular activity. So you can start with 5 a week to 20 a week to 100 a week also some clients do, right? But most important thing is the comment should be approved. It doesn't matter if you're doing 50 comments, 100 comments or whatever, right? So approved comments is what matters with the right backlink, right? And then comes your press release write up. So you have this can be once in a month, maybe that's it, or once in a quarter also sometimes. It depends on the company. So you have free press release sites like PR Leap and Open PR. So, anyways, all these links I will be sharing with you guys in the future sessions. So here, basically, what happens? You do a press release. So some news about the company. It can be as simple as employees. We have reached 50 employees or 25 employees, or a new product launch, or a new partnership. Could be anything. Some new buzz about the company or the product or the service. We do a press release and publish it on the free press release sites. I mean, there are paid press releases as well, but initial stages you don't require. So this adds to your search engine because it goes to your, because most search engines target these PR websites. So that way also you keep cropping up. And then comes your directory and blog submissions. Directory submissions, I'm sure, I mean, most of you might be aware. So there are light of business directories, right? So where you list your business, you put your company name, website URL, description about the company, logo, and contact information. So you keep publishing it on relevant business directories. If it is again a fintech company or a healthcare company, say let's take healthcare company, you should not be listing in a media directory, right? So you should list out in something related to that healthcare related directories. You should list your business head. So it also has to be a regular cycle. And then blog submissions. So blogs, again, it's a mix of off-page SEO and even social media to some extent. So a blog submission is something like you should have a blog section on your website, because what happens is once any website is completed, unless if it is a B2B site especially. So B2B is client sites which target to direct to businesses. Examples are software companies, for example, right? And then B2C are basically e-commerce, right? So if when it comes to B2B, right, so their websites don't have many much changes, whereas B2C you keep updating the products and everything. So in that case, what can be done is writing up a blog every week. So every week if they publish a blog, Google comes and crawls the website. So if you don't have any activity on the site, Google doesn't keep crawling it. So keep that pace intact. So you keep publishing blogs on a weekly basis. It need not be daily, yeah, but weekly will help, right? So even B2C also, most of the companies and e-commerce sites and various payment gateway, whichever are into B2C vertical, right? Training or e-commerce, media, entertainment. So all these guys, they also keep publishing blogs because it adds to the search engine optimization. Basically, you start ranking. The more presence you have on the internet, the more preference Google gives you, right? So I will move on to social media, right? So as I said, right, initially I was just the first slide I was saying. So social media, there are two types, right? So if you are a B2B business, you will have a separate section of social media platforms that you should be active on, versus B2C businesses, right? So B2B primarily LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and blogs. Because, like if it is a software company, unless they are hiring, during hiring, they might go to Facebook and stuff, Facebook and other platforms. But if they are targeting to get their customers, then LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube to some extent, and blogs will be the primary social media platforms that they should concentrate on. And when it comes,
Hello, sir.
yeah, yes.
Sir, recording.
Yeah. This is recording is going on. Yes, I am. I am. This is getting recorded. I'm just typing it as well. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So recording is going on, right? I didn't see the message. I was in the watching the PPT. That's right. Okay. So yeah. So social media. That is what, like, identifying the social media is important, right? So link. I mean, primarily for B2B, it's LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and blogs. And Facebook also is used, especially when it comes to what do you say, hiring, recruitment, reaching out to people and stuff, right? So whereas other folks, everyone else is pretty much active on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, Twitter. There are various other platforms also, like Pinterest is one, right? So it depends. Like sometimes the clients or the customer, or when you are working for a particular company, right? So that company, if you are working as an employee, that company will have their own requirement. They may not be wanting to be active on all the platform, right? So it varies from business to business, rather. Yeah, just coming to blogs, right? So as I said, right, blogs are quite effective in increasing your organic search traffic because you are using keywords and everything. And this, right, I'm sure every one of you are on social media, right? So these are pretty popular, right? So all these should be done rather than just posting, right? So commenting, direct messages, right, messaging, and you have stories, Instagram stories, FB story, Facebook story, LinkedIn story. And similar to story, Twitter has something called fleets. So it is like a story only, it just goes out, it's there for a day, right? So LinkedIn now, I mean, Instagram Reels has come up now, right? So I mean, various all these should be part of the social media activity. Anyway, there I will touch on those when I'm specifically talking about each social media platform when I come to the social media session, right? So one important thing is the social media post should be consistent. It has to be posted, if not daily, every alternate day, not less than that. So if you are posting once a week, once in 2 weeks, it doesn't really help for a business, right? Because social media is so dynamic, so people will forget about it. So how it works is, for example, if a page, if someone has 5,000 followers on, say, Facebook or even Instagram, or LinkedIn, take up any social media platform. Once you have garnered 5,000 followers, and if you stop posting, right, the followers don't get any updates because you are not posting. So after a while, what will Facebook think is that follower is not interested in your page. So after 1 month, if you post, it won't show it to them. So it happens with a lot of clients, even though they have 5,000 followers or something, page likes. None of the posts have as many page likes. But compared to someone who is posting regularly, even if they have, say, 1,000 likes, their regular posts will have more likes and stuff. So consistency is important. It has to be posted on a daily basis and regular basis. So yeah, I mean, see, one major thing is most if you are being a freelancer or you want to work with clients or even companies. So everyone, like even companies, they want the right digital marketing to drive their sales, right? So it's very standard that without marketing, sales cannot happen. And yeah, I mean, without sales, if you are doing marketing, it is of no use, right? Without sales, marketing has no purpose. So if you are posting every day, but there is no result, then it's of no use. So either you have to change the strategy or you have to change the platform. So if you are posting on LinkedIn, you are not getting anything, then you should change the what kind of post that you are putting up. You have to change, or you shift to the other platform. So it has to be like that. So simply just for the namesake, you should not be posting, right? And in the end, it has to drive sales. That is the idea of digital marketing. So yeah, as I said earlier, right? So keep continuing these activities, right? So that is what kind of influences any sale. Because what happens is Any business, if someone hears about it, any company, like even today, right? So all of you, even me, if someone tells me about a new company or a new product, first thing, what do? We go to Google, or we go to Instagram or Facebook, whatever, and put the company name. So there, if we like what we see, then we go ahead, right? If someone recommends, say simple as that, like someone said talked about a movie, so we go to Google and see the reviews, right? So we see the reviews and then decide to whether watch a movie or not. Same thing like e-commerce marketing, right? So Amazon, what do you do, right? So if you want to buy a shoe or something, you go there. So, and then you see the product. It's not that you like the product or not, you see the ratings. You see the ratings, you like it, then the purchase is done. That is what digital marketing is, right? Even for companies to hiring, right? There are various Glassdoor, even Google reviews. So if some company has come up with a job offer, type it on Google, right? So we do that. Some companies are listed, some very small startups are not listed, but they should. So that is where, that is what drives it, influences any conversion, any sale. This is something like towards on the social media front, right? There is a, this is upcoming now. Upcoming means it has been there for a while now. Influencer marketing, rather than spending ads, money on ads, you put money on an influencer. Influencers are someone who have several followers. I'm not talking about celebrities. Celebrities also are influencers, but they are very expensive, right? So for example, there are food makers, right? So cooking video makers, there are several micro influencers, they are called. So if you have a food product, so you go to someone with a, who bakes cakes, so who is into baking cakes, and go to there. Mostly they will have around 10,000 followers on their Instagram page or YouTube channel or something. Then you approach them and ask them to talk about your product. So sometimes it can be free, sometimes it has to be paid. Like for example, two of my clients, right? So one client was a travel portal. So they are into giving pilgrimage bookings, like temples, right? So if you want to book a temple package, you can go online and book it through them. So this client wanted some influencer. So I reached out to few micro influencers. One of them was a specialized photographer who takes photos of only temples, and he has some 11, 12,000 page Instagram followers. So I approached him and say, boss, anyways, you are doing temple photography, and we provide pilgrimage. I mean, we provide travel tour packages to temple towns, temple cities, temple places. So that is where I approached, and he was willing to do it for free, right? So we gave a barter. So you post about us, we will give you a package. So for that, I mean, we didn't necessarily pay them, but yeah, we gave him a package to visit a couple of temples. So we took care of the client, that is, client took care of the travel and everything. So that way, what happened? He got to go to a new place, and we reached out to 12,000 people at one single post. He just put up one post of the client, reached out to 10,000 people. Same thing for another client, right? So they are into children toys. So I reached out to influencer moms. So moms are there who do cooking, who do stitching, who take care of, who do teaching for kindergarten students, right? So I reached out to them saying that, boss, we have a product for children. Would you promote about us? Some of them charged also, like not much, $1,000, 4,000 rupees, whatever. So, but yeah, one post, it reaches out to so many people, right? So influencer marketing is something, once you have your digital marketing in place, social media and SEO, then you can go into influencer marketing, because you should have your base first, then you get into this model. Then yeah, this advertising I have put it in the last. Only reason is being, any company or any business, or even if you are a digital marketer, first thing, don't step into ads directly, right? Ads will not be effective if your SEO and social media are not in place, right? That is the first and foremost. And ads require a lot of money spent. Money will be spent, right? So, and anyways, you put money, you will get some leads. That is given for any ad. If you put in money, you will get some traffic. If you, either you will get traffic or you will get some inquiries, that is anyways given. But conversion, that lead which has come, that has to convert, that person has to pay or has to purchase, that is the most important thing, right? So yeah, coming to quickly, right? So advertising channels, right? So I'm sure all of you know Google ads, facebook Facebook and Instagram add together, right? So Facebook ads come, Instagram ads, Twitter ads are there, a little expensive. LinkedIn ads are also quite expensive, right? So these are some of the most popular, right? So you have other affiliate ads, right? So you can put an ad on, say, India Times or India Today. I mean, news channels, like they have their own websites. There you can put ads, but their rates will vary from customer to customer and client to client. I mean, vendor to vendor, platform to platform. So those are all can be done. But these are the main ads, right? So here what happens? You should very importantly, right? You should run campaign specific ads. Uh, right? Say for example, you are selling a car. Someone is selling. You have a client who is selling a car, or a real estate client who wants to sell a property, right? So what do you do? I mean, you should not blindly just run the ad, right? So obviously, so you have to select, okay, what is the client, say property, for example, if I take a, or even car. So what is the price of the car, right? So if it is 20 lakhs or the property is 50 lakhs, so who can afford it? Someone who is working or who has, say, 25, 30 years to 50 years age group, right? So you have to define the demographics, right? And do the again everywhere proper keyword search. So who will be looking? Okay, someone looking for a four wheeler, or someone looking for a purchase property in Bangalore. So those kind of keywords you have to kind of research and then come up with the ad, right? Of course, so study your competition. So that's easy. I mean, you can see, you just run the keyword on Google, you will find the competition and see what kind of keywords they are using, and compare it and start, right? And keep the budget anyway. So it's obvious, like you should keep the budget as low as possible, right? So Google, you can, I mean, Google, once you, anyways, all these platforms, whenever you set up an ad, they will show you a projection cost, right? So but don't go necessarily go with the projection cost. It depends on the client. So if the client and the company, some clients they spend a lot, like big companies like Jockey, etc. Their annual budgets go into crores of rupees just on digital marketing ads, right? Some small companies, even like there is a online MBA company called Sikkim Manipal University. So they themselves spend about 3 crores. They were my client few years back. So that time itself, they had like a budget of 3 to 4 crores per annum per year. But yeah, when you are talking to some startups or small to medium sized companies, they may not have that much budget. Like you can start with 100 or 200 rupees per day kind of budget. Set up the ads. Same thing for Google, Facebook, Instagram is some basic minimum is 75 rupees or something per day, 75, 80 rupees thereabouts. Twitter is little expensive, around $5. That is what, I mean, 250. LinkedIn minimum per day is 500 rupees, right? So it varies, right? So it varies from customer to customer and company to company and business to business. So, so yeah, so main things SEO, that on page, off page that I had told you about, and then the social media, identifying the social media channels, what the right channel is, little bit of influencer marketing, and why digital marketing is important, right? So this part, why digital marketing is important to drive sales, and then your influencer marketing, and then your ads. So these are, these are the main basics, right? So, and next session, right? So step by step, I'll be touching on very specifically SEO. Under that on page, may what all will be covered, and then same thing with social media. What are the various tools under social media? What are the channels? What needs to be done? What, how to drive traffic, all the stuff I will be touching upon, and even for blogs, right? So blogs, I had told you, right? So you have WordPress, you have Tumblr, you have Blogspot. So various blogs can be done, and on the website itself, you can create a blog, right? So that is much better actually for your clients. I mean, if it is self, that's fine, right? And influencer marketing, and then your ad campaigns. So yeah, I think yeah, that's about it. So this is in brief. So uh, as per today's session. So if you guys have any questions, you can quickly probably put your questions here. You can still see my screen, right? I'll just stop sharing now. Okay. So anyone of you have any questions or any clarifications, or if not, then anyways, I will be uploading this video in the. I will upload it on YouTube or something, and then you can always. I mean, anyways, the group is there, right? So you can ping me a message there if you have any questions. I will once I upload it, I will share the YouTube link. Yesterday's I haven't uploaded. I mean, because I mean it was more of a generic. It was about me, so there was no need. Okay, fine, guys. So. All right then. So we will connect tomorrow. So tomorrow would be about on page SEO. SEO may we will be talking about specifically on page SEO. Okay. All right then. Thank you very much. Cool.